I am now joined by the Swedish Finance Minister, Magdalena Andersson. Good morning to you. Thank you for being with us. My question to you, Maria Draghi yesterday made it very clear it's time for fiscal stimulus in the European economy. What are you going to do about this?
Well, it's a big problem that too many, particularly of the big countries that are entering a slowdown in the economy with big minuses, then big deficits in their budget, and also very big public debt. This is a huge problem for the European economy, and more countries should have spent more time during the good years to actually pay off their public debt. But now we are where we are, and of course all countries need to have a moderate fiscal policy, but at the same time there are several countries that should not build up more public debt.
And when you look at countries that need to spend, we're now hearing more and more voices that actually say it's Germany. Germany needs to get spending now. Is that what you think finance ministers will focus on today, in particular Germany?
Well, maybe ministers of finance should have focused more the last years of spending less and paying off their public debt. So there's often a lot of push on Germany, but maybe those countries that are pushing Germany should have spent more time the last years to pay off their public debt.
And I'm guessing that is a reference to countries like Italy. We have a new finance minister today, Roberto Gualtieri, who is now joining you. What are you hoping to hear from the new Italian government?
Well, I'm really looking forward to meet with him. I know him very well. I know he's a good European. I'm sure he will have a sound fiscal policy. I'm looking forward to that.
And do you feel relieved just by the fact that the conversation, the tone around Italy appears to have really shifted from being very vocal against European rules to actually saying, well, we need to work together?
Yes, I think I'm really hopeful when it comes to the new Italian government. I'm really hopeful to meet the new Minister of Finance, and we really do want and we need Italy as part of the European family, and I think we can embrace each other.
I have to ask you about Brexit, because clearly that is a big elephant in the room. Always we have a hard deadline, what appears to be a hard deadline coming up very quickly. How ready are financial services, pension funds, insurance in Europe ready for this, would you say?
Well, I think both companies, public administrations and countries have prepared for a hard Brexit, but we all really hope we will come to a solution, and I hope that the Brits will decide not to leave with a hard Brexit.
And today, in any case, the Commission has said we need to step up the preparations for a no-deal Brexit. How are you, as a finance minister, going to prepare for them with the rest of your colleagues here? What is the top priority now as we head to that deadline?
Well, we have in Sweden prepared for a long time, both from the government, from the Swedish companies. What I'm most concerned with is the companies, the smaller companies that are trading with Great Britain, not with other third countries, because they need to learn a lot of new rules, and I think for small companies in Europe that have not prepared for Brexit, for a hard Brexit, this is the time to do it.
And speaking of your country, Sweden, and trade, how are you seeing the economy towards the end of the year? Do you expect to pick up or see a pickup towards the back end of the year? And I have to ask you again about the currency. We've seen a lot of volatility. How concerned are you about it?
Well, I mean, we are seeing a slowdown in the economy. In Sweden, we've had very high growth rates the last years, and we are looking for a weaker growth in the coming years. And this is something we have forecasted for quite some time. We know there is some turbulence in the markets right now, and the Swedish currency, the smaller currencies are often affected when there is a turbulence in the financial markets, and this is one of those times. And of course also the Swedish Central Bank themselves say that their monetary policy is one of the reasons why our currency is where it is right now.
And just very quickly, in general, negative rates continue to be a big conversation. Do you see that as something that at this point perhaps could be counterproductive for the economy?
Well, it's difficult to discuss monetary policy since, at least in Sweden, it's very sensitive since the central bank is very autonomous. And if I discuss what they are doing, well, the parliament will say I'm doing the wrong thing.
Well, Minister, thank you so much. Always good to see you with us on Bloomberg Television.